Hi, everybody. Let me make sure my audio is on. It is. Welcome back to the Brickanista Broadcast Network. I'm Naomi, the Brickanista, and as you know, I normally don't stream in the afternoon. I typically stream at 9 o'clock at night. But as I was looking through my list of stream dates, I realized that I've only been streaming twice a week on YouTube and 3 times a week on Twitch. So I thought, you know what I could do now that football season is over, American football that is, that I thought, you know what, I could do an afternoon stream now on Sundays. Don't have to worry about it conflicting with the football game. And we'll see how this schedule works out. So right now, I'm streaming on YouTube on Thursdays at 9, Saturdays at 9, and Sundays at 1 o'clock. So today is my first Sunday 1 o'clock stream. And then what I'll be doing on Twitch is continuing with my schedule there, which is Sundays at 9, Mondays at 9, and Wednesdays at 9. And one of the things that I like to do on my Twitch stream is I tend to do larger builds. So I've done Apocalypseburg, I've done the Haunted House, I've done Pirates of Barracuda Bay all on Twitch because they take so long. It takes several hours per stream. I usually stream for, I don't know, 2 to 3 hours a day. And then what I'll do, or actually more like 3 to 4 hours a day. And then what I'll do is I'll just continue with the build. So I'm about halfway through the VW camper van on the other stream on Twitch. And then what I've been doing here on YouTube is focusing on some of the smaller builds. In fact, if you go back, one of the builds I did recently was this 1999 camper van, because the other thing that I've noticed is there's a lot of streamers out there who will focus on the bigger sets, and I love the bigger sets too. But there's a lot of people who can't afford the bigger sets. So what we're trying to do is look at different options, that if you want the bigger sets, you can go to Twitch and watch me build some of the bigger sets. And then here on YouTube are the more affordable sets, and also some things and tips and other trends that might be taking place. And for those of you who know, today is February 28th. And oh, hey, brothers from another brick. Hey, great to see you. A very new subscriber. Thank you so much, because I'm a new streamer and I'm still trying to work my way through this. Glad to be part of my first Sunday stream. Well, yeah, thank you. Yeah, I think part of the thing is I'm a night owl, so I tend to stream late at night. That's kind of my peak time. And I do that mostly on Twitch and also on YouTube. I just started YouTube in December and I've been streaming since September on Twitch. So yeah, thank you. And I have to ask you this question because I'm a moderator on Tiago Catarino's stream. There was a raid that came through from the Spice Boys, and I was wondering, are you one of those, the Spice Boys? I was moderating and Tiago was going, "What's going on? There's a raid happening." And I was trying to explain to him that raids are typical for what happens on Twitch. And this was also the first time I'd seen a raid come in from YouTube, because usually, that's commonplace in Twitch, is that, you raid each other, you bring your community with you. And there was a group, and I think it might have been a few people who all were on Discord, and they all decided to raid Tiago. So thank you for the raid if it was you. If it's not you, then that's fine. But it was just a cool concept, just to think about going on Discord, having a conversation with your community, and then picking a streamer to go raid them and then say, okay, here we are. So anyway, let's see. I have no idea who the Spice Boys are. Okay, thank you. Well, it was funny because I've been moderating for Tiago for just for a little bit. And you get all kinds of things, as you know, on YouTube. You get the trolls that come through, you get the kids that are just, wanting to monopolize the conversation with all kinds of chats and rants. But yeah, so I've been very fortunate that it's Tiago asked me to be one of his moderators, because I met him through BrickCon, and I was one of his introducers for the BrickCon convention. you've watched a couple of Tiago's videos, but you've not subbed. Oh, okay. Well, he's got a lot of subs, but every sub counts. So as you know, so he's got, I think now he's up to 144,000 subscribers, and this was really interesting too. I didn't know he was doing this, but he's co-streaming or streaming simultaneously on TikTok. And I have a TikTok account. I haven't really used it. So there's a couple of things that I'm still trying to work my way through this, but at least for now, kind of expanding my Sunday's views. And I'm not sure if you saw that my previous stream, I was working on the road base plates. Yep, there's a lot of trolls. Trolls on YouTube are horrible. Yeah, they rarely see them on Twitch. Yeah, that's interesting because I've only been streaming for a couple months on Twitch, and since September. So what, I've on five months now, and it's such a friendly community. It's interesting because what I like about Twitch is that Twitch will let you use your vanity URL from day one. And that's why I started on Twitch. YouTube, it's like they make you work for everything. 100 subscribers just to get the vanity URL, and then 1,000 subscribers to do any kind of monetization. Tiago's doing an amazing job with his growth. Yeah, it's also, he's just such a nice guy. I think the other thing that I'm so impressed with Tiago is that he's just super nice. I've had a chance to work with him at BrickCon last October. Had a chance to chat with him about what he wanted to do for his lecture, and then just so in the few amounts of time that I've had a chance to chat with him, he's been awesome. So yeah, and I've been doing this, for a couple different reasons. And one of them is that I think there's some content that I've been providing that some other people don't, especially in the space of modulars. And well, I should say one of my guest speakers that I'm getting lined up is Max Braun. I don't know if you know Max, but Max is one of the originators of the Micropolis standard. And I was going to talk about that today too, is that I have right now, in fact, I'll go ahead and put my down camera and show you what I'm working on right now. So this is from my stream from yesterday, and these are the new road plates. I don't know if you've seen them yet. YouTube is complicated, but once you blow up, you can make a ton of money. Oh, cool. I have some YouTube friends that are pulling over six figures. Oh my God. Well, you're a friend of M&R Productions, right? And I think he's been doing some amazing stuff and super funny too, by the way. I was watching some of his clips as well. So anyway, I don't know. Have you checked out the new road plates? So I put these together last night on my stream. And what's interesting about this, what kind of drives me crazy about it a little bit is, and this is why I'm talking about the MILS standard, it's 2 plates tall. And if you do any kind of modulars like I have here, the standard for a modular is 1 base plate and then a plate. So it's off by just a hair. It kind of drives people like me crazy because it looks cool. Because as you can see, I have this modular here, oops, and I have, a couple of vehicles, kind of, this camper van is kind of huge, but yeah, but I was just thinking that if we can just make these the same, life would be a lot easier. So yeah, you're not sure who Max is, but I've known and you mentioned him a couple of streams. Yeah, Max Braun is, if you're familiar with Twin Lug, which is in Minneapolis, Twin Lug came up with the Micropolis standard, and in fact, I have a sample here. So this is a Micropolis standard, which is a plate, a brick, and a plate. So what's a little different about MILS, which is the modular integrated landscaping system, is that it's a plate and then a brick and then a plate. So I'm sorry, a base plate. So I have some base plates here. So if you take a base plate and then you take a brick, I'll just put one up here, and then a plate, I mean, the standards are just kind of strange that way. You're not a fan of the new road plates? Oh, okay. I'm kind of on the fence, honestly. Okay, so here's the difference between MILS and Micropolis. And this is also just off by the thickness of a base plate versus the thickness of a plate. You're from Minnesota? Oh, cool. I have a couple friends in Minnesota, yeah. So Max is from Minnesota. He lives in the Minneapolis area. And him and the Twin Lug people, if you look it up, Twin Lug, they came up with this Micropolis standard. And I'm glad we're having this conversation because this is 16 by 16, and then they have the three connectors in the middle of each side. So then you can connect these modules to each other in a big collaboration. And so if you look up Twin Lug, then and just look up Micropolis, you'll see that. And yeah, so Twin Lug, it's interesting because they started the standard and people have been evolving the standard in different ways. Like I belong to Baylug and also C-Lug. So Baylug's based in the San Francisco Bay Area, and they took a similar format and then they put an arch right here in the middle so that they could run lights between the modules. And I think I might have one in a drawer somewhere, so if we get to that, I'll have a chance to show you. But yeah, I was going to actually, I'll just save that for the Micropolis episode. I think I've been talking to Max about next Sunday because of the time difference that we would have it on this Sunday show because to make him show up at what 11 p.m. or midnight to one of my regular streams, that would be kind of harsh. You know, it would be fine for me since I'm a night owl, but probably not for others. But yeah. Well, cool. Okay, so you're not a fan of the road plates. I get it. Well, for somebody like me who's fairly new, I've got a couple modulars, but I don't know if you've seen the new road plates, but what's interesting is here's one of the regular road plates, right? 32 by 32. And it's the thickness of just a standard base plate. So these are a little bit different, and they're based, let me pull this apart a little bit. They're based on a 16 by 16. So when you get the road plates, you get a 16 by 16, and then you have to fill in the 2 by 4s with whatever kinds of dark gray plates that you want. And then they have these little side pieces here, so then you can attach the different um, signs, street signs, and other things. So that I think in a way that is also helpful because in this format there really isn't much place. There's not a lot of places you can put the stoplights and everything. And I've seen people who will take this and they will use a sander and then they will sand off some of the crosswalks. So from a flexibility point of view, I kind of like this new format better, and they are more sturdy. And they talk about for removing the base plates or those little tiles, they tell you to take one of these, and then on the bottom, I think you're supposed to push out on that and pop it out that way. They've thought about, quite a few things, especially for kids, because kids will be using these a lot. But for AFOLs who have been in the modular standard for a while, who have made these massive cities, I don't know if you're one of those who make massive cities, but it definitely could be an issue, because like right now, I'm going to do a short conversion and show people how you would use the modular integrated landscaping system, which is a little bit different. And once again, the modular integrated landscaping system uses a base plate, a brick, and a plate. And then what we're going to do is convert these roadways. So anyway, that's the plan for today. Just so you know, you have this stream live and another one scheduled at the same time. So some of the audience might be confused. You have this stream and another one. So You're talking about your own stream, or you're talking about my stream? so, so your audience, some of your audience might be confused. Are you streaming me to your audience? Sorry, I'm confused about what you just said. But yeah, I just started streaming. I mean, I could move mine to another time if this is gonna. But I'm such a small streamer. I've got 76 followers, so I don't think I'm a threat. So anyway, so what I was gonna do is take this roadway, which right now is 3 of those modules. I'm going to just take 2 of them. I'm trying to think. Maybe what I should do is just take one of them off my stream. Okay, so some of your audience might be confused because of my stream is scheduled at the same time. I scheduled the stream twice? What? I did? How did I do that? I thought I only scheduled it once. Okay. So are you saying that there might be some streamers somewhere else that they're not seeing me here? Like I said, I'm such a noob at this. I probably need to talk to somebody like you. You had people waiting on the other stream? Oh, really? Okay. I don't understand how that could happen. So I guess I'm gonna have to figure out how to communicate with them on the other stream because clearly I'm live here. You know, this happened to me once before. And I thought I was scheduling things correctly on YouTube. It might be Streamlabs. I'm wondering if Streamlabs is causing this problem because I think if I stream directly from YouTube, it doesn't seem to be an issue. Okay, so do I need to look to see if there's another stream going on? Here, hold on. Let me see if I pull up my controller. I hope you don't mind that I segue a little bit. Let's see. I want to do a window capture. And let me see if I can. Yeah, some of these programs, and there's investments I need to make to, like, for example, that overhead cam that you see of the street, that's a cell phone. So that's what I'm doing. Let's see. I think if I go here. Okay. Well, here, let me check this out. I actually had your website up, funny enough. Here, I'll show you. I'm not lying. I had this. I was before this stream. I was looking. You had put a question to your viewers. Whose stream should I help out? A co-stream with for a small streamer and a big streamer. I was gonna put my name in there, but I said, you know, I'll let somebody else do that. I had people waiting for me on the other stream. Okay. All right. So let me see if this window capture shows up. Okay. So here's my window. And let me transition over. Just messaged me on Instagram so you can see what I'm talking about. Oh, okay. Hold up. Let me transition here. All right. So here's your stream. So funny enough, I was seeing what you were doing, and I noticed that you had put out a question about to your viewers. Okay, so you said that my stream. Let me take a look here. My channel. Oh, I see. So I have 2 that are going live now. Oh man. So which one is which? Wow. Okay, so which one are you on? I guess maybe, let me see if I can click on one of these. Okay, this is the one that's live. The one that I'm on right now. Okay, so let me go back. Because now, let's see. And that's my, boy, this is really weird. This is very strange. And let me see my dashboard. Okay, see, I just have the one setup. I wonder if it's because I started 1 minute late. I don't know if it started. Okay, I'm going to look at my Instagram account and see what you were saying to me, but I think I know what you're talking about. I have no idea what I did to make two show up. I might have to like restart it or something. Okay, so, okay, I don't know. I have no idea, but that's interesting. Okay, so I'm going to go back and let me hide this. Let me get rid of this. Okay, so now I have 3 viewers, so maybe they're figuring it out. Maybe. Um, okay, so let me see if I can see your chat with me on Instagram. Did you send it on Instagram? Because I'm looking at Instagram. I don't see a chat from you. So, anyway, oh, there you are. Okay, you started following me. I followed you back on Instagram. Okay, well, this just shows you what a noob I am at this. But I have a couple. So I have you and one other person that looks like is watching. Okay, Brad's life. Hey, hi. I don't know if you were waiting in the other stream, but apparently there's two streams going at the same time, and I have no idea how I did that. So sorry. Well, I mean, I think in the end, it's the recording, and that's part of the reason why I've started streaming on YouTube. Is that one of the things that drives me crazy about Twitch is that you can have this killer stream, but if you don't remember to download it in 2 months, it's gone. And I kind of hate that because it's kind of like you invest all this time in streaming and trying to put together something nice, and then it's it's a bigger headache. Anyway, all right, so I am going to move this out of the way. This, by the way, is my own modular. You just joined. Oh, okay, cool. Well, where are you based, Brad? We have here a brother from another brick who's out of Minneapolis. I'm sorry, Minnesota somewhere. I'm in Seattle, for those of you who are curious. And I have been streaming now on YouTube since December and then on Twitch since September. So I'm a fairly new streamer. I've only been doing this for about 5 months. But I think hopefully I can bring something to the table as well as these other streamers. So cool. Okay, let me just set this over here. So you can see this is the extent of my city. I just have these two modulars here. Okay, and what I'm going to do is put this back in the frame here. All right, so once again, if we're going to convert this to the MILS standard, we have to start with a base plate. And since these are 16 wide, this will fit perfectly on top of that. Now the problem is, as I mentioned before, the MILS standard is a base plate, a brick, and then a plate. So in order to do that, you need 4 plates equivalent on top of this. So since this is 2 base plates tall, we need to put a perimeter of two base plates, or I'm sorry, 2 plates tall. And what I thought I would do, just to make it simple, is I have a ton of these 1x2s in this dark gray color. So that's what I'm going to use that, and also I have a handful of these. So that's essentially what I'm going to do to start. That's the only issue with Twitch. You can't save the streams permanently. Yeah, exactly. Well, you can save highlights. And I have been saving highlights, which have been, pretty helpful. But yeah, it is kind of a pain that you can't really do much with the streams once they're gone. So what I've been doing now is I've just been downloading them, and then I'm going to be using some of my editing skills to edit them down and then upload them to YouTube. And yeah, there's a couple fun things that have happened, and I'm really sad though. My Pirates of Barracuda Bay, that whole stream is gone. I was like so pissed off. I was like, you kidding me, Twitch? Seriously? I mean, why? I don't know why they do that. Is it because they have so many streamers and they stream for a long time? I don't know. What am I building? I am building a the base plate. So here's the new road plates. So I'm taking the new road plate and I'm converting it to the modular integrated landscaping standard so then they'll match. Because right now this is two standard plates tall. If you use the modular standard, so when you buy a modular, if you buy the police station or if you buy the Parisian restaurant, which is the one I have over here, they base it on a base plate and then a brick and then a plate. So what the problem is that the they're not lining up because it's off by just the thickness of a base plate and a plate. So what I'm doing is I'm converting this over to that standard, and all we need to do is just add two two plates tall around the edges, and that should do it. That's the only issue with Twitch. Yeah, yeah. So I've been yeah. Last night I tend to stream at night, so this is another thing, is that I tend to stream at night. So I I don't catch a lot of East Coast people because they're already asleep. Because I since I'm in Seattle, it takes it's about what I start at 9. I usually go till midnight or 1 o'clock. And for somebody on the East Coast, that would be asking them to be, watching me from midnight till 3 a.m. So that's why I started adding this stream, is this Sunday afternoon stream. Also because football season's over. If you look at some of my older Twitch ones that I did save, I tend to stream also during the football games because I would be building while I was watching football. You love late night streams? Oh, good, good. Well, if you're on Twitch, there are a handful of us that are all late night streamers, and we raid each other, and it's kind of like, oh, I wonder if IDK Alaska is on, or I wonder if Supercomputer is on, or who's the other one? I'm trying to think, King Saru the third. So all of us all kind of know each other, and when we're streaming and we're getting ready to raid, we kind of know that we're the ones who are going to be hanging out. Missed most of my streams because they're at midnight. Yeah, I'm sorry, but you know, I'm uh, I'm streaming now Sundays at 1 o'clock. And I was just talking about next week, I plan to have Max Braun on as a guest. And that'll be my very first guest. I haven't done guest appearances because I haven't really had a show until now. Yeah. And do you stream as well, Brad's Life? I know that Brother from Another Brick. So if you haven't subscribed to Brother from Another Brick, also follow him and subscribe to him. And he has a cool channel as well where he talks about Lego. Yeah, I think that the pandemic, if nothing else, has encouraged a lot of people to start streaming and sharing their builds and doing some other things. And I do mocks on Monday, so I always do mocks on Monday. In a way, this is kind of a mock too. This is no, actually, this is called a mod. So this is a modification. So I'm not really changing the base or the plate that much, the road plate. What I'm doing is I'm enhancing it by making it to the MILS standard. And for those of you who don't know, the MILS standard modular integrated landscaping system was also a standard for collaborations. And I'm trying to remember where it started from. I know Cactus Brick has a big write-up on it, but I don't think they started it. You've done a few Instagram streams, but none yet coming through soon, though. Okay, cool. What's funny is I haven't done Instagram at all. Is that I only started doing Instagram because Joriel Builds if you remember the daily brick limit challenge. So the daily brick limit, I helped him out in January by co-sponsoring it with him. And that thing, you want to talk about blowing up. We started off in August with 3 or 4 people doing builds to the daily brick limit standard. And then I threw in some prizes for Jorial builds, and then we started doing Instagram announcements, on a weekly basis. We hit 7 countries. So 7 countries started following this. We had 100 and I think it was 105 builders. 1,700 different mocks were displayed and 22,000 pieces in total. So yeah, it was amazing. Okay, so let's see. So if we take the ramps off, this should fit right on top like that. And we shouldn't have to worry about putting something in the middle to buttress this up because these are pretty strong. These, because they're already double plates already. Okay, so there we have, at least we've got the road done. Now the other thing that we would have to worry about are the ramps. So these ramps also come with the standard. So you notice that if we do that, then we're going to have to put, and I think if we look at this, yeah, see, this is going to be an issue too, is the ramps. It's that freaking base plate. The base plate is what really throws us off. Spot the Magic Ninja! Hey! The Daily Brick Limit Challenge has been so fun to watch. Oh, great. Yeah, I'm so glad that, you participated, and so, we had so many people from around the world, and some of them, 2 of the winners were actually from the Netherlands who won the prizes. Yeah, so this is one issue, is if you are going to go to the MILS standard, that these ramps are not going to work as well. You're going to have to manage through that and calculate it out using a small plate. So just so you know, maybe it's just me, but my mic is really low. Okay, well it's interesting because I cranked it up. Here, let me, you know what, I have another mic that I could use. I know you're going to laugh when I tell you, I have a Yeti mic, but I haven't connected this because I have my 2 USB ports are being used right now. One of them for this camera in front of me, and then another one is for a side camera, which wasn't being used, but maybe I can upgrade. Here, let me see if I can move this up. Okay. All right, or maybe I just need to talk louder. I'm looking at the levels right now, and I think if I talk louder, it seems to be better. So hopefully you can hear me now. Yeah, I think I'm just not projecting my voice because right now it's right in the yellow section of, oh, let me just check one more thing because it should be set to Realtek, which is my laptop. Okay. All right, or maybe I just need to talk louder. Uh-oh. I'm looking at the levels right now. And I notice I have an echo. I think I have in the background. Let me make sure yeah, let me get myself out of the background. Okay, well, see, thank you for giving me the feedback because, like I said, I'm new at this, as you can tell. I I watch these other streamers and they're so polished and everything. The audio's way better. Okay, thank you. I think what it was is I just wasn't talking loud enough because if I'm facing this way too, that my laptop is picking up my voice. And I'll play around with this some more because, as I mentioned, I have 2 USB ports on this laptop, and one of them is powering this camera, and the other one is powering another secondary camera too. The echo? Hopefully the echo's gone. Whatever you did worked. Projecting your voice helped. Okay, thank you. I really appreciate this, brother from another brick. It's like I have a little personal coach. So thank you. Thank you for that. Okay, so one of the things I wanted to mention is for modular building, I don't know if you were aware of this, but there are these side Technic holes that go with Technic bricks that are at position 10 and 11. And so what you have to do is you need to count out 9 bricks and then put the 10th and 11th brick is a 1x2 Technic. So I'm just going to grab a couple real quick. So if you are going to do some of these, you need a few of these 1x2 Technic bricks. And the reason for that is because modulars connect to each other. And in this case, they're going to go here. So I need to put like a 1x1 on that level. And this is a 16x16. Normally your modulars are going to be either on a 16x32 or on a 32x32, but I wanted to streamline this tutorial a little bit because it's, like I said, it's, I just thought this would be helpful for some people, especially if you're going to convert over to the modular standard. Okay, so I realized, let's see, if I want to use white, I don't know if I have enough white bricks, because the other thing that you need is 1x4s. I know I have a ton of this other color, so I'm gonna switch over to this, and this will probably be better too because you'll see the contrast. Yeah, this is, I know this is like this bright pink color. And like I said, this is just for the sake of showing you what you need to do in order to do a building that's going to have the right sections. Hey, Brickman Mosaic, hey, how are you? I am working on right now just converting, I just converted the base plate to the MILS standard, and I was just showing everybody how they would convert the modulars, so then that way the modulars would also be the same. Actually, I should put this up here. I think I have a 1x2 in that bright pink, but yeah. I think for me, you were talking about that you don't really like the new road plates. For me, it actually works out better. So I do like the new road plates. I do like the flexibility. The only thing that drives me crazy is that they don't match. It's off by that thickness of the base plate, which is a pain. 1 year ago from today, Bricks Cascade happened. I know. How strange it is. Were you there, Brickman Mosaic? Because I was there. So were you there for the group photo? Because the group photo, there were like 500 of us there, and it was amazing. Oh my gosh. What I'm doing is I'm just grabbing some 1x3s over here. And see if I have that same color. Oh, I just realized I'm supposed to put that 1x2, as I mentioned. If you are doing the modular standard, you need to make sure that you have that. Okay. Actually, I don't need a 1x3. The new road plates are quite customizable. Yes, I love that. I think that if you are starting from scratch, starting with the new road plates are awesome. Plus, it takes a smaller footprint. So as you're building out your city, then you'll have more room to build your city. But I don't know, for those people who've invested all that money in the original base plates, that might be a little harder. So I don't know. I'm not sure what to say to people who've been doing this for a while, that they might not be too happy with the way things are. All right, so I'm just putting this, and I'm probably going to switch this out. I'm just doing this just for the sake of this tutorial. And then what I have a lot of these plates that are so this would be, if you are, oops, now if you follow Bevan's bricks, he would put some more bricks under here to give it some more structure. Because I would recommend you do that. But since this is a 16 by 16, we don't really have to worry about it too much. Okay. All right. So now this lines up. And I just realized what I probably should do is I might need to actually raise this up a little bit because, yeah, so we are going to have to, in fact, we probably do need to raise this up a whole brick, but I'm going to raise this up a little bit more. So for those of you who just joined, this base plate, in fact, this is going to be interesting. How do you remove a base plate or a road plate from here? Okay. All right. So I'm going to add another plate level. So you might actually get by with a brick now that I'm looking at this. And the reason why I say that is because now that we've made this MILS standard module, that you would put a row of, say, 2x4 dark gray plates for the sidewalk. And that's one of the things that you would do. So you would want to raise this up. Oh, Brickanista, hey, how are you? Welcome to the stream. I'm Naomi, the Brickanista. If you're new, I've been streaming only for a few months, and what I'm doing right now is I'm converting the, I'm trying to get these to match based on the MILS base plate standard. And I just realized that we could probably get by with a full brick level instead of, because in order for these to match, we need to take into account the sidewalks. So if you are familiar with the sidewalks, what they do with the sidewalks is that they usually have a row of the light gray is the first row is light gray, and then they add the 2x4s. In fact, I could take, let me see, I've got the spare one over here. Yeah, what I'm trying to articulate is that we have, and this is what I was mentioning, where they tell you to use this to pop up the plates. So they give you this for the lamp posts, and that's what you use to pop the plates out. So what I'm using is I'm using some of these plates, these extras from this module here, and putting them onto this, just to make sure that the measurements are correct. But yeah, I think that these new base plates, like I said, for me, I like them. I think that, especially because I'm fairly new as far as building out my city, but I wanted to just show you, I have a few things that we can put on here. So going back to this, we're going to raise it up another plate because we want these all to match. Yeah, so we're going to need to, which actually makes it better because I thought it was only going to be 2 plates, but it's actually a brick. So in the future I can just put a brick all the way around, but I got plenty of these gray 1x2s. So that's what we're doing. If you're wondering, what is she building? What is she doing? Yeah, I'm just trying to show you that if you are going to be doing this kind of building, and also if you follow Bevan's Bricks, I don't know if any of you follow Bevan's Bricks, but Bevan's Brick is a huge proponent of using the MILS standard for skyscrapers, especially because the structure is so much stronger, and it would just benefit more people to know what the MILS standard is and why it's important to use it, because I haven't done a skyscraper yet. I hope to someday, and when I do, it will definitely be on a MILS standard. Because if you think about it, if you're carrying a large building, especially at a convention, you want to be able to do this without having to worry about the base plate being all flimsy. And I get it that they made the base plates, more flexible for kids because, when they're trying to redo things and lift things up, that they want to be able to do that, and be able to get their bricks off fairly easily. But, you know, if you're an AFOL, like many of us are, you want to structure and also the portability is important. Yeah, so what I'm doing, so now that I've discovered this, you can put a brick down instead of 3 plates. But since we started with the plates, we're going to finish with the plates. So I'm just doing a brick tall along the edges of this. And like I said, I have a ton of these, which we were having a discussion about Lug Bulk. And also, for those of you who don't know, the 1x2 is one of the most flexible as far as building pieces that you can have. 1x2 plates. It's Tiago Caterino's favorite piece. He uses it a lot in his micro builds. And it does have, oops, I'm out of frame here. It does give you a lot of opportunity to do lots of different things with them. Okay, so anyway. Yeah, so Brickman Mosaic, you were talking about Bricks Cascade. So for those of you who may or may not know a little bit about me, is I didn't start off as a builder. I started off as an animator. So I went to my first convention, Bricks by the Bay, with a 10 or 20-second animation that they showed at their conference. And then I got introduced to all these builders because, ironically, even though it was an animation convention, they had no place for us animators to sit. Because if you go to one of these cons, you know, there's the Micropolis area, there's pop culture, there's Star Wars, you know, there's a lot of different categories. And there was no place for me to sit as an animator. So I just kind of hung out with a couple of different people. And as we were talking, that's when somebody gave me the name of Brickanista. So that's how my name came about. Okay, this is looking better. Yeah, I'm liking this. So I became the Brickanista at that convention. And then also what I discovered is there were, you know, these different themes. So I ended up hanging out with the High Seas guys for a while, and we were talking about pirate ships. And I asked them, I said, has anybody done a pirate ship that is all women? And they said, not that I know of. I said, okay. I said, what about the Spice Girls as pirates? And they said, no, definitely nobody has done that. So the following year, I brought my Spice pirate ship, and I won an award. I won the Best High Seas Overall Award that year. So I wasn't a builder to start with. I became a builder, and I got my Brickanista name from that convention in 2018. So I'm fairly new also to this. You missed the convention season? Yeah, I know. Okay, so see what's happening here now that I've raised this up. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to look for some 1x8s I might have. Let's see. Yeah, because the standard, yeah, I've got a couple of these. The standard for if you're working with modulars is that you have this as your sidewalk. Is you usually have, I'll move this closer. So you have the 1x8s. I have 2 of them here. And then you go next to a sidewalk. In fact, let's see, it looks like, let me pull these up because we need some gray ones. I was just looking at my other ones behind me because, yeah, there's actually, let's pull these up. You've only been to one LegoCon, Bricks in the Six? Toronto. Oh, how fun. I love Toronto. Oh my gosh. I used to go to the Toronto International Film Festival every year or every other year, depending on what was going on in my life. I absolutely loved it. It was so much fun. So do you live in Toronto, Brickhamsden? If so, I'm so envious. So, I'm so envious of you. Toronto is just a very, very awesome place. Though I like Seattle. Okay, so you see what I've done here is I've added the plates. So you have a 1 by 16 going across in light gray, a 1 by 16 layer in dark gray, and then a 2 by, and then you have another row of a 2 to match it up. So I'm just going to grab some more of these. Yeah. Yeah, I don't know if it's been interesting just seeing how this whole road plate system is going to. Are you a part of any lugs? Yes, I belong to multiple lugs. I, my very first lug was Bay Lug, and I'm still a member of Bay Lug, which is in the San Francisco Bay Area. Then I moved up to Seattle, and I joined. Actually, I should put just the way this is. Let me see if I can pull this up. This is not very stable, so I'm going to put a couple bricks underneath here. I could just tell it was starting to cave in, so I wasn't too happy about that. Let's see, where did my white bricks go? I set them aside. Anyway, so I here they are. Yeah, so what I did is I joined Bay Lug first because I went to Bricks by the Bay. That was my very first convention. Then I joined Sea Lug, which is in Seattle when I moved up here. Brickhamsden, yeah, you were planning a trip to Toronto before this stuff happened? Yeah, I know. We all were. We all had travel plans before this happened. Okay, this is going to be much more stable. Yeah, this is good. Okay. Anyway, and then I joined the Women's Brick Initiative, which has, some other benefits. We do some collabs together, which has been a lot of fun. I'm just going to put some more structure here. I'm just going to throw a few different bricks down. In fact, let me just keep consistent. We'll put white bricks down here. And then this is the most exciting one that I'm thrilled about. I should say, I don't know, it's not really a lug, but I belong to Sort Lug, which is a group that meets on Fridays from 5 p.m. to 5 a.m. And we, talk about sorting and what have you, but this is amazing. Jason Mewes from Jay and Silent Bob, if you've ever watched the Jay and Silent Bob movies and Clerks, he showed up. One of our members invited him to, because he's on Twitch. So one of our members was on his Twitch stream, and he's shown up the last 2 meetings. It was amazing. He's super nice, super nice guy, and he was just asking us a lot about, just about Lego, like we all do. Just the fact that he showed up to our meeting was hilarious. So I guess so that's not a true lug because it's not officially recognized. The other 3 are, so Sea Lug, Bay Lug, and Women's Brick Initiative. And then through Sort Lug, I got invited to join a German one. So I'm also a member of Thousand Steine. So, you met Jay? He's a super nice guy. Yeah, oh, that's cool. When did you meet him? And what's the circumstances of that? That sounds interesting. Okay, look at that. See, that matches up perfectly. Here, let me see if I can show you the side view. If you take a look, I guess I need to do do it this way. All right, I'm going to show you this way. This matches perfectly. And that is why it drives me crazy that it was off by the thickness of a base plate and the difference of a base plate and a plate. Okay, so now we have everything is flush. It is completely standard. That's a ton of lugs. Yeah. Well, you know what? The German one is interesting. Is I'm going to be submitting my first mock to this German. They have a challenge that's going on right now, and it'll be interesting if I win. They have 3 prizes that they're giving to the best mock that's in a 10 by 10 format, kind of a vignette format. Yeah, so I would say my primary lug is C lug. And you need a primary lug because if you qualify it based on the lug's criteria, then you can take that lug, all the participation, and if you qualify for Lug Bulk, and Lug Bulk allows you to get some bricks at a lower price if you're working on special projects. You can't resell any of that, but if you're working on projects, it's a great way to do that. Okay, so now that I've done this, I have a small little mock I think I could put on here. Let's see. Where did I put it? Ah, here it is. I think this might fit. Yeah, actually, oh my God, that fits perfectly. Okay, so this was the back of my ice cream shop. So just to kind of give you a sense of scale, that I need to put this pillar in, so I need a couple of white bricks there. Let's see, before I secure it down. Yeah, so this is the back of my ice cream shop mock, and I'm trying to see if I can secure that. Let's see. Do I want to move it forward a little bit? Actually, okay, I think we're going to be fine because based on this, there is another row of that I could put of light gray. Brickanista, you're about an hour south of Toronto in the States. Oh, cool. Your friend made me get an enhanced license so we could go to the Lego museum. Oh, that's great. That's awesome. Okay, this is good. I like how this is coming out. This is going to be awesome. Okay. So now I'm going to set this down here. Oops. That's the beauty of Lego, is that even if something breaks apart, you can always put it back together again. Okay. I like that. So you can see, now that we've converted it to the MILS standard, the road plate matches perfectly with the MILS standard for the base plate. And let me show you the comparison. So this is the townhouse that I had built, and as I mentioned, I took the back off so I could put the back as the sample so you could see the difference. All right, so here's the original, and you can see that the road plate is farther down, so I'm going to need to make this a MILS standard too and raise it up. But this is so much stronger as a base, as you can see. You can see that base is much stronger using the MILS standard. Might be the Discovery Center. Oh, yeah, I was going to say, they have a Lego museum over there? Yeah. And if you remember, here's the comparison. Let me see if I can move this out of the way. Here's the original plate and its original format. And as you can kind of see, let's see, put this here. Actually, I might have two of these. Yeah, I did. All right. So here's the original. And you can see that with the original modular, it works, but it's still off. It is off by the difference of a plate and a base plate. It's not perfectly aligned, but if we convert it like we did already, then it matches. And I know Bevan's Bricks has started converting his already, the new road plates, to this standard. And so if you're interested in doing that, it's not that hard. I thought it was going to be 2 plates, but it's actually a brick. So all you have to do is put a brick underneath, and also put it, don't forget, you have to put it on a base plate too. So we have the base plate layer. So it's a base plate layer, a brick, and then the 2 plates that come with the set. So yeah, I would say, you know, now that I've done this conversion and I'm looking at it, I think definitely going to the MILS standard is going to be better. Because even as I lift this up, and I'll just kind of show you part of the problem, is that this is very precarious because it's just this plate, or this base plate, and you can see that this base plate is pretty flexible, which was its intent when it was first put together. But if you are going to transport this to a show, then it would be a problem. And here's I was mentioning the Technic bricks that are on the side of the modulars. So if I did this correctly, let's see. Yeah, I did. So I don't know if you can see that, but the Technic bricks line up. So if this was raised to the MILS standard, then this will fit perfectly together. Ooh, that looks actually pretty good with the way the blue lines up there. I might have to leave this because this was the back of the ice cream shop, and then here's if you wanted to see the other side. So this stairwell came up, and then you would get to the door over here. That house is so awesome, the window spacing, the deck. Oh, thank you. Yeah, what I did, if you want to take a look a little closer, here, let me set this down, because it's the flexible base plate honestly makes me nervous. Here, let me see if I can give you a close-up of this a little bit. Let me adjust this. Okay, so if you are familiar with the Friends sets, and here's one of my pet peeves, and I know Brother from Another Brick on your title of your YouTube page used to talk about rants. Okay, this is one of my rants, is that Friends sets do not have a complete enclosure. They're designed to be like dollhouses, right? So when you get a set, you might have this awesome front. And so if you look at the Friends Heart Lake City Lighthouse, this front piece is pretty much the same right here, this section. So what I did is I made this a modular. I converted the Heart Lake City Lighthouse ice cream shop into a modular. In fact, oh, there goes my front light. I was looking for my extra battery, but I can't find it right now. So I'll be in the dark for a little bit. Okay, so I'm taking this apart to show you that this is a full modular. And this is a mock. This is a full mock because I was upset about how these Heart Lake City modulars don't have a full back. So here, I'm going to angle this for you. You can see, let me see if I can lift this up a little. Yeah, so you can see the interior. You also find that some of your older base plates don't have the same clutch power. Exactly, exactly. Perhaps they were always duds. Either way, the flimsiness is then definitely an issue. Yeah. Okay, so here, and part of the reason why I didn't move this modular to the MILS standard yet is you notice that the parquet floor is directly on the base plate. So I have to lift up every single one of these to put it onto the plate level. So that's why I will, when I convert this, it will be converted into a better format. Okay, so that's the base level. So that is that. Here is the apartment level, and I will just hold this up to the camera so you can see this. So I made it a full interior with furniture, little micro furniture, and, and this is all my design. So you can see I have like a little kitchen area in the corner here. Let's see if I can get a better picture. So there's the kitchen. You love when people do the removable floors. Yeah, versus a dollhouse. Exactly. And that's exactly how Lego designs modulars, right? However, I sometimes forget the inside of your builds. Yeah. And so this one, when I was building it, I said, you know, there's not enough room for a bedroom in here. But I spent a lot of time. There's more. I have this part that pops off, and that is the bathroom. So you can see that the bathroom has a little shower with a door. The oops, clear door. Oh no. So here, let me fix this real quick. Yeah, it's fun. It's really fun to build these. I find anyway. I enjoy just the creativity part and being able to also integrate them with other modulars that are out there. I just think it's super fun. Okay, so this is not sealing. Why is that not sealing? You know, as builders, we like things to snap. There we go. Okay, so going back to even the bathroom, you can see that I put in a toilet and I put in a sink and I also put in some artwork too, right there. Okay, so this normally would sit back here and would sit right on top. And let me see if I can angle this. Then once again, this base plate's a little flimsy, but if I angle it for the camera, you can kind of see it. But it's getting taller now, so my camera angle isn't working. Okay, so I'm going to put this cover back over that. And then this is the loft. And I'm still missing a window pane, but this is probably what I'm most proud of is you can see that this set of windows took forever for me to figure out how to make it work. But those panes fit, and you can kind of see on the interior. Let me see if I can angle this right. Okay, there we go. Angle that for the camera there. You can kind of see there's a railing, and then if you look through the window, there's a bed over there. So there's a bed, and there's a dresser, and there's that dormer window. So I modified the lighthouse and ice cream shop into this modular building. So this is a Brickanista original, I guess, or Brickanista mod, depending on your how you feel. If I took too many elements from the Heart Lake City Lighthouse, or if it's truly my own. Yeah. So anyway, so that was what I had planned for today. And like I said, my recommendation, once again, let me zoom out on this camera. All right, so once again, my recommendation is that yes, go ahead and get the road plates, whether or not you want to convert them to the MILS standard or not. If you do convert them to the MILS standard, then they will be completely aligned here, which is amazing. Or as the Brickanista says, it's dope, yo. It's totally dope. And if you don't want to and you want to keep the original standard, you can still do that and just use the base plates as they come out of the box, like this. And they will line up fairly closely to the regular standard. It'll just be a hair off. It'll be the distance between a regular plate and a base plate. So those window panes can be a pain. Yes, they can. Yes, I still have to get the window for the back, but yeah, yeah. So this is what I had on the back. Oh my gosh! Hey, how you doing, Devo? I was actually getting ready to close the stream down pretty soon, but it's a window pane. Yes, it is. Nice one, Brickham's done. So just to get Debo up to date. So if you go back to my stream from yesterday, I opened up the road plate box, and the road plates are fairly close to the standard for a regular modular. So a regular modular is on a plate, and it kind of lines up. And then what I did is I converted the road plate to a MILS standard, and that turns out to be a brick. So you take a base plate. So I took this white base plate, and then I started with 2 plates because I thought it was going to be 2 plates, but it turns out to be a full brick. And then you put your plates down from the road plates. And then you convert another to the MILS standard. So here's a sample. And this has got the base plate, brick, and then plate, and then you build on top of that. And so I have the standard with the sidewalk, or the little trim to the sidewalk, then the sidewalk in the dark gray, and then another light gray section. So yeah, yeah. So I will probably be converting my Parisian restaurant to this standard, and then converting my road plates so then they all kind of fit together. So that's my plan. I don't know. I'm still trying to figure out what I would do with these, though. The problem is the ramps. It would be almost like what you would need to do is you would need to get a small plate, a small base plate, and I happen to have one here. I just need to clear it off. It's got a lot of things on here. So if I wanted to, I guess if I wanted to continue, is that to make this work with the ramp, you would need to fill this in and then add the ramp to that. Now that might be a little trickier because, as you know, these are 16 by 16. So in order for the ramp to work, I don't know, that might be a little trickier. I'm not sure if you could use the ramps as well. But that might be another stream. Might be another thing for me to think about for another stream. Because I'm just looking at it right now like this. And yeah, I think you would need to add a brick underneath just to bring it up to the same. Here, I could do that real quickly. Let me see what happens. I put a brick underneath here. Oops, I'm out of frame. Okay, so I'm putting a brick underneath here just to see if that will bring it up to the right height. And let me get my camera. Let me get this moved out a little bit. Yeah, the problem is my camera angle. Let me see if that will work. Okay, we'll have to do it this way. Okay, and see, you could put a brick underneath, but then you have the same problem. You still have that base plate. So the base plate level. So you'd almost have to do it with a base plate just to keep it completely the right height. Here, sorry about that. Maybe if I just angle this camera down a little. There we go. How's the road do with the 8-module wide vehicles? Oh, it does not do very well. That's a good question. Here, let me show you. Okay, so here's a road plate, and I had a couple vehicles here. Here's a 4-wide vehicle. So this came from my trophy, which this looks pretty good as far as a 4-wide. Here's a 6-wide. So we have this Dodge Charger. The 6-wide kind of works in a way. Here, let me put one of these close up. And then here's another 8-wide or 6-wide. This is the camper van that I made the other day. I mean, these are looking pretty big. And I just realized this is European style. Let me move it to American. Let me have this facing the right way, or the correct way for the U.S. For anybody in Europe, we know some of you drive on the left side of the road. Taking corners is another thing altogether. Right, exactly. So you can see this, I don't think, is really designed for a 6-wide vehicle. I think the 4-wide makes more sense. And so if you are going, and this is something that Cornado and I were talking about on yesterday's stream, is we were talking about how here it is, there's all these vehicles that Lego has made that are 6 studs wide, and these base plates are way too small. So here I'll compare. Here's the base plate from one of the originals, and I'll just grab one of these. They are kind of the same profile, but I think because, I don't know, I think maybe because it's flat, it doesn't look as clunky. But anyway, so yeah, this is kind of tight for a 6-stud wide vehicle. You may be getting slightly more room in your city soon. Yeah, I think that's one benefit of these new road plates, is that if you start converting all of your regular road plates to this new standard, then you're going to find that it's going to be a little bit, you're going to end up with more room. I've had this conversation with Matthew Builds Bricks in the UK, because he has a massive city, and he says he's really looking forward to these new road plates because he's now going to have more room to put more buildings, which might be why Lego decided to do this. Is they decided to move to this new standard, so then that way people can buy more buildings because they have more space in their house. Or people like me who are mock builders, we can do this and have, our mocks put together. And I'm looking at this and I realize that I think I put too many bricks here, because this does not look correct. This looks like it's not even. There we go. That's better, I think. Or am I off by a plate? I might be off by a plate. Yeah, I think I'm off by a couple plates. But definitely the brick was too much. I'll fix that. It'll be good. So anyway, so yeah, so there we are. I would say that if you are going to do this, if you are going to populate your city, the 4-wide vehicles will be better because they'll look a little bit more reasonable. In fact, here's also, in addition to that, I also have a moped from the Parisian restaurant. So you can see that the moped, which is what, 2 wide, 2 to 3 wide, and then this 4-wide vehicle that I put together, those seem to work better on these road plates. So there you go. And you really like that the new road plates are easier to build on the bottom of. Yes. As far as bridges, yeah, I think so, because you also have these open spots that you can put, bridges, overhangs, etc. Yeah, there's some options there. And they also have these tiles that are pre-printed, which I think is a big improvement from the other one. Because as I mentioned, I saw some streamers who go through the trouble of using chemicals and sandpaper and other things to get rid of some of the crosswalks when they don't want them. And speaking of crosswalks, let me see if I can find it. because the road plates also come with a crosswalk. So here's the crosswalk portion, and it also has these plates that you can pop out. That if you know didn't if you wanted to put something else in the middle of the crosswalk, so that's an option. Yeah, getting new tables. You have 8 and 10 wide vehicles. So no new road plates for you. Yeah, there's no way. I mean, a 6 wide barely fits on there. So if you have 8 wide road or vehicles, then yeah, it's not going to work for that. But it'll be interesting to see your new setup, Debo. Oh, here's another streamer, by the way. If you're not following Debo Bricks, follow Debo Bricks. He just started doing live videos. He's been uploading a lot of his edited videos, but get this, his very first live video, he decides to stream for 9 hours the first day and then 7 hours the second day because he built the Ninjago City Gardens. So, as I mentioned, I tend to stream, at least on Twitch, I tend to stream for like 3 to 4 hours. On YouTube, I try to keep it shorter. Speed bumps are a nice change. Yeah, yeah, these speed bumps, in fact, here, let me show everybody. So what Deba is referring to are these little speed bumps, and these pop out. So you can put these in different areas too. And the set also comes with these little road signs. So that one's like a slow down for the crosswalk sign. And it also comes with some foliage too. So it has some modules where you can build little road foliage. So yeah, so if you haven't seen the Ninjago City Gardens and you want to watch Debo build it over 9 hours the first day and 7 hours the second day, tomorrow noon, 9 a.m. Pacific. Oh, are you streaming on Mondays now? Okay, are you what's your next project? What are you doing? Because you tend to also gravitate towards larger builds. And Debo has an amazing city. I mean, I showed you, this is my little mock with my little uh, ice cream shop slash apartment. He has this massive opera house that he's built. He has a modification of Doctor Strange's house and some other things. So yeah, check him out. He's also Debo Bricks on Instagram. All right. Well, there you go. So I would say, yeah, if you're going to convert to these, you will have to stick with 6 wide vehicles or less. You know, you can't go with the 8 wide stud vehicles because they're just not going to fit. And it does provide you some modular flexibility because they're based on a 16 by 16 footprint. So it's based on this. You get, I think, 5 of these in the kit. So 5 of these little plates. As far as getting, getting these tiles off, you just have to pop them out from the holes here. Taking a closer look at the gardens as you try to make a skyscraper more Ninjago-ish. Oh, cool. Yeah. Well, see, tomorrow, yeah, I'll try to drop in on your stream tomorrow, Debo. That's cool. And thank you, everybody, for hanging out. Thank you, Brickman Mosaic Arts, Brickman's Den, Brothers from Another Brick. All of you guys have been awesome. Thank you so much. I really appreciate that. Here, let me move to full screen so I can say goodbye properly. Even though my light went out. That's a bummer. Yeah, because I was streaming yesterday, so I was looking for my battery pack for my light, and I can't find it. So anyway, but if you want to continue on the adventure with me, the Brickanista, I will be streaming tonight at 9 o'clock on Twitch, and that's 9 o'clock Pacific time, and that's usually my time that I tend to stream. But I'm adding this Sunday module or time slot because next Sunday, if everything works out well, going back to standards, we just did the MILS standard today. This is, oh, I've got my green screen on. This is the standard for Micropolis. And so Micropolis, we're going to talk about Micropolis next Sunday because my special guest, should be Max Braun, who was one of the founders from Twin Lug who came up with the Micropolis standard. So just wanted to keep you posted that I'm adding a Sunday stream at 1 o'clock on YouTube. And then I will also be going on to Twitch later tonight to keep building on the VW camper van. So, oh, thank you, Brick Winston. I appreciate that. And yeah, I'm building my stream. If you could like this video, if you enjoyed it, if you can also just subscribe if you haven't subscribed already and tell your friends. I'm trying to get to 100 so I can at least use the Brickanista, um, the URL. So Spot the Magic Ninja, yeah, thank you so much. I appreciate it. Yeah, I got to remember all these things. I'm a new streamer, so thank you for your support, everybody. You guys have been great. And if you want to catch me on Twitch over at 9 o'clock tonight, I'll be back and I'll be doing the VW camper van. So anyway, thanks again. It's been great hanging out with you guys, and hopefully we'll see you at another stream, either on Twitch or here on YouTube. So thank you and take care. Bye. See ya.